but some of the highest winds tonight will definitely be found in the Albuquerque metro area as we push those winds through the canyon. They burst out onto the other side, and that happens to be where the city of Albuquerque is sitting, and we'll be looking for the highest wind gusts right at the mouth of the canyon at around 60 miles per hour. That will be the area to watch for some of those gusty winds and for some of those strong storms. And in the eastern part of the state where we get that daytime heating, we already have it pretty hot at the surface, cool up above, and as all of that moisture lifts up into the atmosphere, we start to form those clouds and eventually form those storms as well. Heavy rain will be a good possibility with some of these storms, as well as some large hail, and we'll be looking for those gusty winds coming out of the storms too.
John, you were down in Florida. You ever do a little gator wrestling?
Oh yeah, of course, all the time, because I went to Florida State.
Oh, aren't you good?
As that trough starts to edge in, that will take the edge off the heat, but the position of this trough is going to make a big impact on how much rainfall we see over the weekend, especially in the northern part of the state. If the trough sets up too far north, we'll see all of our precip chances miss us to the north. We'll be looking at those winds starting to boost up across the state, and we'll also be looking at drying conditions, which will lead to a little bit elevated fire danger through the weekend and into early next week. This storm coming across the state may not be the best thing for us, because even though we have a little bit better shot at storms, many of those storms would be dry thunderstorms. As those storms begin to develop, we have dry air at the surface, and any shower activity that we get going, or at least most shower activity, will be evaporating before it even reaches the ground. And even though the rain won't be hitting the ground, lightning still will make it all the way to the ground, and that could cause a few of those wildfires to spark out. So we'll have to keep a close eye on where these thunderstorms develop throughout the afternoon. Jessica's a little off her game today, but don't let her fool you, because she is a seasoned veteran when it comes to racing. In fact, you may not know this, but she was actually the first woman to ever win the Indy 500. There's a picture from that.
It's quite an honor.
Yeah, and what I would like to know is, this milk here, was that skim, 2%? What was that?
Low fat.
Oh, good, good.
That's
the
right
healthy
after the
choice.
marathon, she jumps right in the car.
Yeah, exactly. So good job there, Jess. Good job today. Good job with the Indy 500. Congratulations. We're watching a dry line, which separates the dry air from the moist air, and that's going to push in toward the state by Thursday afternoon. We'll be looking for showers along the dry line and back into where the moisture areas are, and if that dry line can push far enough into the state, we'll have a decent shot of picking up a few showers and storms across eastern New Mexico. We are looking at fires that can occur here. It's not that they can't happen, but they are not going to be as big of an issue as far as threatening homes as what you see on the other side of the mountains, because the terrain just drastically changes as you move into the east-facing side of the Sandia Mountains. There's a lot more vegetation on this side. That means for heavier fuel, and of course there are more homes closer to the big timber. And we won't be up to 100 degrees here in Albuquerque, but down in the southeast we will be touching it. But the nice thing with the hot temperatures is that our relative humidities tend to be a little bit lower. So when you combine those hot temperatures with the lower relative humidities, it makes for a very effective swamp cooler. You get a very comfortable temperature inside. But later on in the summer, as we start to move into monsoon season, we'll start to see those relative humidities go up. Temperatures will come down a little bit, but still with those higher relative humidities, that's going to lead to some problems with the swamp coolers being as effective. We have an area of high pressure which will be sitting on top of the state. That's going to help push down the air and compress it. That's going to lead to warmer conditions. In addition, a westerly flow in the eastern part of the state is going to lead to that air compressing even more in the east. And when you get all that air compressing, it really heats up.
Now let's go over to KRQE meteorologist John Smith for some more answers. John, are we going to see the mountains again this afternoon?
Well, I do think we will eventually start to see some of the mountains as some of this haze clears throughout the afternoon. The big reason that we've been seeing the haze throughout the morning hours is due in part to some of the relative humidities that we've had out there. We have seen some elevated relative humidities in the eastern part of the state, and some of that has seeped into the metro area, especially through the overnight and into the early morning hours. But those relative humidities are starting to come down, and in combination with that, we are also starting to see those temperatures come up as well. We're already up to 77 degrees in the Albuquerque metro area after a at least cooler start this morning. Of course, that cooler air is a little bit heavier than the warmer air, and that allows some of those pollutants to be trapped down to the ground. But as we start to heat up, we'll start to see some of those pollutants escape back up into the atmosphere, and we'll start to see some of that haze start to go away throughout the afternoon hours. Now, another thing that we're going to have to watch throughout the afternoon is the chance for a little bit of severe weather, especially in the eastern part of the state. As we continue with some of the elevated moisture in the eastern part of the state, we'll have the chance once again of picking up a couple of showers and storms, a couple of which could be on the strong side. I'll have details on that coming up, as well as a look at your Memorial Day forecast in just a few minutes.
It's good for her that she was able to stay calm, just turn around and
All right, see you later. All right, well, we did see a nice warm day this afternoon. Temperatures did make it into the 70s across the northern mountains and even into the 90s across the southeastern part of the state, well into the 90s down in Roswell and Carlsbad. Clayton made it up to 81 degrees. Keep that number in mind because they are much cooler right now. 71 degrees, the current temperature with a west wind at 12 miles per hour in the metro. We are now down to the 30s. Almost 50-degree drop for Clayton over just the past 6 hours or so. 31 degrees right now in Raton, 39 in Las Vegas. Cold front sitting right here across the northeastern part of the state, and it will continue to push across the state through the next several hours and into tomorrow as well. So we will continue to see the temperatures drop. If you're looking at warm temperatures right now, enjoy it while it lasts because it is about to get much cooler. And winds behind that cold front still going pretty strong. 41-mile-per-hour wind gusts in Tucumcari as well as Clayton. 28-mile-per-hour wind gusts in Raton. And as the front continues to push across the state, these areas that are seeing a break from the wind right now will eventually start to see those winds go back up later on tonight and into tomorrow as well. So taking a look at your forecast winds as that front continues to push across the state, we'll see east central sections start to see stronger winds through the overnight hours and into tomorrow morning as well. And by tomorrow afternoon, we will start to see those winds back up in the metro area and points south of there and into the southeastern part of the state as well. So the winds are here for at least the next 24 hours or so. Wednesday looks to be at least less windy, but still fairly breezy across the entire state. So wind, something we're going to have to deal with throughout much of the week. And the wind, due to that cold front, is going to be barreling across the state. The storm system itself delivering another round of snow for Colorado. All the precip for the most part continues to move to the north of the state. We'll have the chance of picking up a couple of spot showers across the northeastern part of the state and into the northern mountains through the overnight hours and into the day tomorrow. And we could even pick up a couple of snow showers late tonight over the highest elevations of the northern mountains, maybe even seeing an accumulation of around an inch or so. Windy conditions and much cooler through the day tomorrow. And then temperatures do start to rebound, especially in the eastern part of the state. On Wednesday, we stay breezy, but there will be more sunshine on the way. Then another weather disturbance crosses the state on Thursday. That'll give us another chance of picking up a couple of showers across the state. But despite this, we will continue to warm up into the end of the week because this storm system is coming from the southwestern part of the country, not the northwestern part of the country. And that is going to allow for at least not seeing another round of cold air with this storm system, which is certainly some good news because I think we have had our fill of the cold air. Southern Colorado, temperatures into the upper 50s for tomorrow. And then those temperatures do start to come up. We're back to near 70 degrees over the weekend. Over the northwest, winds gusting up to 35 miles per hour, highs in the upper 50s to low 60s. We're back to near 70 degrees for Thursday and continue to warm up into the weekend. Over the southwest, winds gust up to 35 miles per hour. Temperatures stay on the warm side here. We see our cool down here on Wednesday and then rebounding those temperatures to near 80 degrees for Saturday and Sunday. Over the southeast, blowing dust will be a concern with winds gusting up to 40 miles per hour. Much cooler for tomorrow as well, but those temperatures do come back up. We're back to the low 80s by Friday. Over the northeast, spot showers will be possible only into the mid-30s for Capuline, 40s and 50s elsewhere. We do start to see those temperatures come back up toward the end of the week, maybe another spot shower on Friday. Over the northern mountains, spot showers possible, winds gusting to 35 miles per hour. A cool day for tomorrow, but Santa Fe back into the mid-60s by the end of the week and even the mid-70s by the wrap of the weekend. Over the east mountains, temperatures here into the mid to upper 60s for tomorrow. In the metro, we'll see highs in the upper 60s to near 70 degrees, so it will be cooler, but only by about 10 degrees or so in the metro, and then we're back into the 70s by the end of the week, even near 80 by the end of the weekend.
Thank you, John.